Okay everybody, so for today's episode, we're going to be doing a self-massage routine for your lymphatic system. And this is short routine, shouldn't take more than 10-20 minutes if you want to spend a little extra time that you can do in the morning. And ideally the evening before you go to bed, twice a day is the best. If not that, do at least once a day, every day. And it should feel really good and supportive for anything like chronic swelling and edema and inflammation in the sinuses, or just fluid accumulation in and around the whole body. So I want to point out before we get started, if you have really strong fascial tension in certain parts of the body and muscular tension, such as like just really tight pectoral muscles, or if you have really tight hip flexors and abdominal muscles or a really taut abdominal wall, this might be more supportive to do specific exercises and openers before you get into the massage portion. So we're gonna go through the massage portion first, and then if you try it out and you feel like things aren't moving quite yet, or you're still remaining really puffy in areas, or specifically around the armpits, the collarbone, and the hips, and the calves, then go to the end and I want you to go through the exercises and try those out. They are really, really beneficial. I highly recommend for everyone to do those anyway, but if you have more time and things aren't working out, if you have hypermobility, those are gonna be really good too for kind of getting rid of that excess tension before the massage routine. So I'll put that at the end after the lymphatic routine, but let's go ahead and get started with the massage portion. Okay, so for the foundational routine, we're going to be focusing on the 6 major choke points where the lymph nodes accumulate in the body. So a quick rundown is that the lymphatic system is going to be draining the whole body. It's going to be draining at the collarbones, right? So going into the subclavian veins here, that's going to go back into the circulatory system, to the heart, and eventually to the kidneys to be peed out when waste is being moved through the body. So we're going to be starting from the end of the chain and working our way back, because we don't want to have anything clogged at the end point. If we start moving things down further, it might go up a little bit, but if we're not clear up here yet, it's going to get stuck and just be shunted back down. So we're going to work from the end point, which is the collarbone, and then we're going to go next one, the head and the neck drain next, so down into the collarbones. Then from there we go to the pectoral regions and the armpits. That's where it's going to be draining next, so the lymph nodes collect. And then from there we're going to be going more centrally, so from the thoracic duct we're going to be coming down to where it's called the cisterna chyli, which is a major sac in the lymphatic system that pulls all the lower body and the abdominal lymph up to the clavicle. So we'll go cisterna chyli next, which is right below the ribs, and then we'll go into the hip groin creases, is where we are going to be draining from the front of the hips and the inside of the legs. And then the final place is going to be underneath, behind the knee. That's where the last lymph nodes are going to be collecting. So that's a quick rundown, and we'll go ahead and get started with the techniques. So what we're going to be doing for massage, the technique is really important for getting lymph to move. We do not want to be using really hard, firm pressure. We want it to be slow and gentle and keeping contact in circular motions, almost like a wave that's coming up and down. And we want to be keeping contact with the skin. So rather than massaging where we just like to scrub or glide our hands, for the lymphatic stuff, we're going to have contact with our hands, but we're going to keep that contact. So I use my arm as an example, and we're going to do, if we're doing circles, we're dragging the skin rather than pushing like this. So does that make sense? So fingers stay intact and we drag the skin. If you can watch, you see how when I do this, you can see the skin and the connective tissue and fascia move all the way up into my wrist. So that's what we're going to be wanting to do, because the lymph fluid is so superficial right below the skin in a lot of places on the body. It's going to go deeper into the abdomen and the intestines and all that stuff, but we're going to be focusing on just the main choke point areas and foundations for getting the lymph to move. So let's get started. So for the collarbone technique, I like to have kind of a 2-finger approach. We're going to come 2 fingers above the clavicle. So here's the bone, the collarbone. We're going above it in the supraclavicular area. And we're gonna do 2 fingers in contact here, both sides and cross palms. And you want a really light touch, almost like it's an energetic movement. We're not forcing anything. I want you to just touch, sink in softly, kind of like you're sinking into soft clay. And just gently drag down from the outside to the inside with your 2 fingers. And so what that looks like off of the skin is going to be dragging like this and kind of scooping toward the collarbone. And some people will put a time on this. I would say spend at least 30 seconds up to a minute. You can start kind of more inside and then work your way out and feel where there is any puffiness, crunchiness, and just spend a little extra time there and work with your breath. That's really important, okay? So that's step number 1. And then step number 2 is going to be coming up into the neck. So once we've cleared the collarbone area, our head and neck is going to drain down first before everything else drains up. So what you're going to do is you're going to find the angle of your jaw on both sides. And from there, we're going to just drop down, not on the pulse of the artery and not on the muscles here, but right kind of in between. You might feel some swollen lymph nodes if you are prone to lymphatic congestion in this area, or if you have jaw energy, anything like that. It might already be, or sinus stuff going on. It might already be like you have some swollen lymph nodes, and that's okay. We're not focusing on stimulating the lymph nodes. We just want to get the general area. So again, we're going to have just a kind of general broad touch approach, like you're to put on sunscreen or makeup or something. Just let your hands fall there. If you want to do cross hands, this can feel a little bit more approachable for some people. And again, you're going to do a gentle drag down. This motion is going down, intention toward the ground to your collarbone. And we're just doing gentle circles. And feeling where there is restriction. Spend a little extra time there. Maybe don't move it as much if it feels extremely tight. Maybe make the circles a little bit smaller. And again, 30 seconds to 1 minute here. So after we've done the neck, I like to come down right in the thyroid area on the front line of the neck to help increase the drainage a little bit. You can just do kind of cupping your hand if your neck isn't too sensitive, and just do a few drags downward. And that will help everything traveling down. So for our next part, we're going to be going into the armpits and the pectoral muscles. So this is kind of a 2-part approach. We're going to cup our hands into our armpits like this, just like you're crossing your arms. Thumbs can be resting on the inside, and we're going to do scooping motions with our fingers. So that's the armpit part. And then the thumbs, I like to add in to the pectorals. So as we scoop in with the fingers, we're going to be drawing down toward the armpits with the thumbs. And we can do this at the same time, thumbs and fingers working together. Or we can do it one at a time if that's too much to focus on. So fingers are going to scoop up and into the armpits. Thumbs are going to scoop pecs down towards the armpits. So that's going to look like this. Scooping up and in, and then scooping down. Together it's going to go like this. Okay? You don't want to get deep into the armpits, just working superficially there. 30 seconds to 1 minute. Okay, so we've drained the armpits. Now we're going to come central, and this is going to be the cisterna chyli that we're working on next. So you're going to find where the ribs end. So my ribs are here. You're going to work your way up to center point, that hole in the middle. And then you're going to come down slightly below the ribs, a little bit onto the right side. And this is where the cisterna chyli lives. And we're going to do the pumping motions that go in and up, in and up, in and up. So that's going to look like in and up from a side view, in and up, in and up. From our front view, in and up. And you can find a couple different areas if it feels stickier in one spot over the other. And this one, maybe spend upward of 30 seconds on it, doesn't have to be a whole minute. And then we're gonna go down to the hips. Okay, so now working down into the hips, we're gonna find the crease of our groin. And we're gonna have fingertips here, working from the inside, out and up. And then down from outside to inside, okay? And so this is gonna be scooping up gently. Okay, 3 to 4 different scoops all the way down and all the way up. If it feels like one side is puffier or more stuck than the other, you can come and just spend a little extra time doing slow scoops. Maybe then coming off the groin and up into the lower abdomen a little bit, scooping up toward the belly button. And that's for the hips. So for our final lymph node area, we're gonna come down to the knee. So this is gonna be the back of the knee. You're gonna bring both hands underneath behind your knee. And it's gonna be that same scooping motion. So scooping up, in and up, in and up, in and up. You're gonna use a little bit of firmer pressure here, so it's gonna look like in and up, in and up. And this should all feel pretty natural to your body. You know, this technique is nuanced, so connect with yourself. Feel what your body likes. Slow down if you need to. Maybe even not doing full movements, just holding that area can be really beneficial for moving the lymph as well. So play around a little bit with these techniques. And then a key point here is that once you have gone down and you've done the knees at the bottom, we've reached our 6 choke point places. We've moved everything, it's starting to flow up. Now we're gonna come back the other direction. It's called the rinse and drain. And you don't have to spend as much time on each spot, but you want to just bring attention to those areas again, because as it's moving up, now we want to give it a little extra encouragement to make it all the way to the collarbone and keep things nice and supported. So from the knee, we're going to do knees, both knees, then come back up to the hips, to the belly, doing some nice rib cage breathing while you're here, to the armpits and the pecs, then up into the collarbone. I like to do collarbone again first, neck, and back down to collarbone. Okay guys, so for the first exercise opener for the collarbone, it's going to be getting your fingers actually in. So from above the collarbone, going in and down, and doing some shoulder movements to open up that whole space of the scapula, collarbone, shoulder complex connection. So this is gonna be really good if you feel like you can't even get your fingers into this area. That's a great indicator that you need some coaxing on yourself to get there. And if you just feel like there's just puffiness that won't go away in this whole area, try this out, okay? So I like to start the routine laying down, but I'm gonna show you sitting up what this is gonna look like. So basically you're gonna take 2 fingers, and on one side you're gonna go down. So I'm going in and down. And it shouldn't feel nervy, it shouldn't feel burning. If you have that sensation, come off, try a new place. But you're gonna get pretty firm pressure, and from there you're just going to start making some shoulder rolls. Opening and closing the shoulder. It doesn't have to be anything specific, but I want you to move the whole shoulder around and explore, and moving your fingers to different spots. Get into a sticky part, bend into it, breathe into it, and then continue to open up. Okay, so what this looks like on the ground, which is the ideal place I like to do it. So nice and relaxed, finger comes in, and you're gonna do opening and closing of the shoulder. You reach up overhead, just find some circles with the whole shoulder and arm, across the body, and down. Make sure to do that on both sides and feel, it should be pretty instant of a difference. After you've done that, go ahead and feel again how the collarbone feels. If it's softer, more pliable, and you have more space in that area, now you're set to go and try the massage to start draining, okay? Give that a go. Okay, so for the next part, this is going to open up the shoulders. So if you feel like you have chronic armpit puffs and you can't really even get your fingers in there, it just feels like bulging. If you have really tight chest muscles, pecs, pec minors, lats, all this whole area, if it's just super tight traps, this one is for you to try before doing the lymphatic drainage routine. So we're gonna do some scapular push-ups. So we're gonna come onto all fours, and what this is gonna look like is you're gonna find a tabletop, and you're simply going to act like you're doing a push-up, but you're not going to bend your arms, okay? So what it's gonna look like is elbows stay straight, and we're going to drop our shoulders down, and then press up. Drop it down, and press up. So as you can see, my scapulas are moving, and that is where the magic is happening. So as we move the scapulas, we're gonna be opening up fluid drainage from all over this different area. So from the front, it'll look like this. And you squeeze the scapulas together as you go down. And you press through the floor, engage, and kind of round up as you come up, okay? Then from there, you can also incorporate some circles of the shoulders. So that is one to try as well. Okay, so if you're not into the scapular push-ups, or it doesn't work, or it just doesn't feel good, this is another one you can try. This is just going to be arm swings, alternating arm swings to open up the shoulder region. So it's going to be opening and closing, straight forward and back. On the side, it looks like this. And you can do this for a minute or a couple minutes. Which feels really good to the nervous system as well. And if you want, you can do circles, forward and back. Or even holding on to the arms, circles with bent elbows, and back. Try one, or you can try all of these. Also a great opportunity to open up the lymph flow in that area. But I want to note with this one, if you have shoulder injury, or if you have labral tears, or if you just have lax ligaments in the shoulders, this one, I want you to keep the shoulders engaged when you do. So rather than letting them drop and fall while you're going through swings, keep the shoulders kind of cinched into place and then go through it. And that should help keep things intact. Okay, so if you have a lot of tightness and restriction in your rib cage, if you have trouble when you turn, if you're like grunting when you go to do movements like that, this exercise is for you. And this is going to be accessing the twisting energy of our liver. Not the actual liver, but kind of the actual liver, but the energetics of the liver that give us free flowing chi and ease of movement in our whole body. And this is also going to be accessing the what is called the Dai meridian or vessel that runs horizontally around the waist and influences the connection and communication from the lower body and the upper body. So this is kind of connecting the two of those. So what this looks like is you're just going to be turning with arms resting, but they're going to slap your low back and your side body as you rotate. So it looks like this. From the front. And you inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Let your head go with it. I want you to do that for a couple minutes. It should feel really good and therapeutic on the low back and also getting into the ribs. If you aren't able to do that, I have a floor exercise for you next. Okay, so this is the alternative floor exercise of the gentle twists to help open the rib cage. So what you're gonna do is come onto the ground, spread your arms wide, lift your knees up, and you're gonna let them fall from side to side. So arms are at T position. And you're just going side to side. each side and see how that feels. So next, we're going to get in tightness of the hip flexors, psoas iliacus, and the surrounding gluteal muscles and hip supporters. If they're really tight, if they're super inflamed, restricted, you're not going to really be getting much flow up from the hips. So this is going to be a great qigong exercise, actually, that is going to open up all the leg meridians and stimulate them and get them nice and warmed and flowy for the lymphatic drainage massage to actually make a difference. So what this is going to look like is you grab a yoga block. If you don't have a yoga block, grab a big textbook, something really hard and firm that you can stand on and support your whole body weight with. I'm going to have that near a wall, grabbing a wall, and you're going to come step onto the block. So my foot that's nearest the wall is going to come up, standing on it, and I'm going to let my other leg dangle. See how I can swing it back and forth, and I'm holding on to the wall with my same palm. So left foot on the block, left palm to the wall. And this is going to be very simple, just like you're running. We're going to start to swing. Swing the leg forward and back, forward and back. And then as you're going, you're going to do this go for a minute, if you can. But I want you to focus on, if you're crunching your low back or trying to swing it back like that, we're not in dance class here, we're just dropping and letting our arm and leg swing naturally, okay? And then note here, if you are hypermobile or if you have hip injuries where you have subluxation in the hip joint, or if it just is really loose and unstable, I have a different variation for you because that one might not feel too good. So we'll move to the ground for the next variation. Okay, so for this next variation on the ground, you're gonna come onto your back with your knees bent in, both feet on the ground to start. And whichever hip we're starting on, we're gonna bring that in, knee bent, grabbing around the top of the shin, and just do a few circles first. This is going to massage the hip flexors and relax them to help them feel safe. Two circles in each direction, and then we're going to have arms down on the ground. This leg is going to go straight now, and all we're doing are leg lifts, up and down. And it doesn't have to be a core exercise or anything per se. It's that same kind of swinging idea, but this is going to activate the hip flexors, opening them up, giving them a little strength so that they can create a free flow of movement. So you can do 10 on each side, and then straighten out. And then finally, we are going to end with calf pumps. So this is going to be really important because this is what is actually going to facilitate the motion and the movement of the lymphatics back from the feet, the calves, lower legs, and to pump it all the way back into our circulatory system up to the collarbone. So the lymphatic system, as some of you may know, does not rely on anything automatic, any pumping, such our circulatory system has the heart to pump without us even thinking, to move things through our body. The lymphatic system is solely based on our movement and our breath to facilitate that motion. So this is a great way after you've done your exercises, after you've done your lymphatic massage, you're going to end with 100 calf pumps on your back. So you can have yourself laying down, either legs straight up in the air, or you can have them resting on something where you have free motion in your ankles. So I'm going to demonstrate with legs up in the air. And what this is going to look like is simply pointing toes and pulling back. And 100 pumps per minute. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Kind of like if you're doing CPR. Find that rhythm. And you can go all the way to 100. You can go more if you want to, if you're feeling ambitious, but end with that. And right after you're done, Come back up to the collarbone just one last time. Give a couple more little gentle strokes to complete the process and find the union of your entire body being connected, mobile, alive, vital, and fluid. Hope that helps.